Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. So today we're going to continue our topic thermochemistry with the application of exothermic and endothermic reaction in daily life. Okay, so look at to the first example. Okay, example of application of exothermic reaction in daily life. So as we know, exothermic reaction is a reaction that's going to release heat to the surrounding. So as the effect, when this reaction release heat to the surrounding, the temperature of the surrounding will going to rise. Okay, so based on this idea, so we have the hot can. Okay, so what is hot can? Hot can is a can with a few layers made up from aluminium. Why we use the aluminium? Because aluminium is a very good heat conductor. So the reaction of exothermic will going to happen within the layers. So the first layer we put the food, okay, and then the other layers we put the calcium oxide and also the water. Okay, how can we activate this hot can? When we buy the hot can, we're going to have the hot can and also a root. Okay, satu batang. And then also at the hot can, we have like 3 holes, 3 lubang. Okay, so when we want to activate our hot can, we use the root. Okay, and then we push the root inside the hot can, the hole at the hot can. And when we make a hole by using the root. Okay, why we make the hole? We make the hole to make sure that the water from the other layers can mix with calcium oxide in the other layers. So the mixture, we're going to have the mixture of water and calcium oxide powder. Okay, so once the calcium oxide and the water is mixed up, this reaction we're going to release a lot of heat, okay, to the surrounding. Okay, and then the heat release is almost 50 degrees Celsius, approximately 50 degrees Celsius, and it's going to heat our food. And this is a very nice and very cool, because we can have hot food even though we don't have the gas stove. And then it is really important if we go for the camping for 1 or 2 weeks. So no need to bring our charcoal, no need to do the combustion, and we only can have our hot food within a few minutes. Just apply the concept of exothermic reaction in this hot can. Okay, and the second example is the termite reaction. So what is termite reaction? Termite reaction is also known as welding termite. Okay, and it is also used to fix the railway tracks. Okay, so let's say the railway track is broken, dia rosak. So how can we join the railway tracks? So as we know, the railway track is made up from iron. Okay, so how can we fix that joint, that railway tracks that's broken, by using the termite welding. So what we have in termite welding, actually we heat the aluminium and the iron trioxide. Okay, so when we heat aluminium and iron trioxide, this reaction we're going to release a lot of heat, and then we're going to get aluminium oxide and also iron. So what we really need is the iron to fix the railway tracks. Okay, and number 3 example of exothermic is the combustion of fuel, like what we discussed in our previous lesson, heat of combustion. So we can use any fuel like methanol, ethanol, or maybe methane, propane. Okay, when we burn that fuel, so it's going to release heat. The heat release we can use for cooking our food. Okay, and then go to the example of endothermic reaction. For the endothermic reaction is the reaction that going to absorb heat from surrounding. So when the reaction absorb heat from surrounding, so the temperature of the surrounding will be dropped. Okay, so in our daily life, we apply this concept in the gel pads. Okay, when we have fever, we want to relieve our fever. for sure people that have fever will have high body temperature. So how can we cool down the temperature, our body temperature? One of the method is by using the gel pad. So what we have in the gel pad, we have a few layers also. It's a very thin layers. And okay, the layers, what we have inside the layers, we have ammonium chloride and also water. So when we want to activate, or when we want to use the gel pad, we just squeeze the gel pads, and then the layers will be the layers of the aluminium oxide and also water will be breaks. Okay, make them to be mixed. Okay, when aluminium chloride and water mix together, this reaction we're going to absorb heat from surrounding. Okay, when it's absorb heat from the surrounding, so as the effect, the temperature of the surrounding will be dropped, so the pads will be cool. That's why it's known as the cold pad. And when you put on your forehead, you will feel really nice and cool. Okay, next is the soft cooling beverage. This is also one of the cool can, which is like the hot can. We have a few layers, and then if the hot can release heat, the chemical reaction release heat for the soft cooling beverage, the reaction inside the layers, among the layers itself, will absorb heat. So we no need for you to put the can inside the refrigerator or put some ice cube. You just activate the soft cooling beverage like how you active your hot can. Okay, and then the last one we have the sorbet. What is sorbet? Sorbet is also known as the water ice, or also known as the Italian ice. Okay, so when you put the sorbet in your mouth, you will feel cool. Okay, so the sorbet is actually a frozen dessert, a frozen dessert made from the sugar sweetened water with flavoring, typically fruit juice, fruit puree, wine and honey. So it's a very simple. You can have this sorbet at your home. You just need the fruits. Okay, you blend the fruits, you put some sugar, and then you put in your refrigerator. And then when you take out, okay, you put in your mouth, you are going to feel cool. Okay, this is a few example of exothermic and endothermic reaction in our daily life. Okay, so you can explore by your own. There's a lot of other example other than this. Now let's moving on to the fuel value. Okay, what is fuel value? Fuels is a substance that burn in the air to produce heat energy. Okay, and as we know, each fuels have different heat of combustion. If you use methanol, you have propanol, and you're going to see they're going to release a different amount of heat, and for sure they're going to have different heat of combustion. Okay, so what is meant by the fuel value? The fuel value is the amount of heat energy release. Also talking about heat energy release, but this time when 1 gram of fuel is burned in excess oxygen. If before this we are talking about heat of combustion. Heat of combustion is also amount of heat release, but for heat of combustion is amount of heat release for 1 mole of fuel when it's burned in excess oxygen. Fuel value is not 1 mole, is 1 gram. So the unit will be kilojoule per gram instead of kilojoule per mole. Okay, so how can we determine the fuel value from the heat of combustion? It's really simple. Fuel value is kilojoule per gram. So how can we get the fuel value? Okay, so just if you have the heat of combustion, the unit will be supposed to be kilojoule per mole, divide with the molar mass of the substance, the molar mass of the fuel that burn in gram per mole. So cancel mole, so we can get kilojoule per gram. Look at to the example. Okay, the heat of combustion of octane is negative 5,500 kilojoule per mole. calculate the fuel value. The fuel value is kilojoule per gram. So how can we have kilojoule per gram from kilojoule per mole? So we just divide the heat of combustion, divide with the molar mass. So first step, find the molar mass of the octane. So we can get 114 gram per mole. Okay, so 114 gram of octane, this is representing 1 mole, release 5,500 kilojoule of heat. This is 114 gram representing 1 mole. Therefore, if 1 gram, 114 release 5,500. If 1 gram, meaning that 5,500 divide with 114, the answer is 48.2 kilojoule per gram. There will be no negative sign. Therefore, the fuel value is 48.2 kilojoule per gram. Okay. So this is for your information. Fuel for the vehicle. Okay, always when we are talking about fuel, we always talking about, in Malaysia we are talking about RON 95 or RON 97. What is RON? RON refers to research octane numbers. RON, research octane numbers. Okay, so basically fuel with higher RON is more difficult to burn, susah nak terbakar. So so in other way we can say fuel with lower RON will burn easily. Example here, if we have the Polo sedan cars, by using RON 95, so I need 18.16 liters of fuel. If I use RON 97, I just need 17.612 liters of fuel. Okay, so if you look at to this value, I can say RON 97 is much more, it needs only a little amount compared to RON 97. But this one is not for all type of cars. Normally is for certain type of cars. Some of cars is suitable to use RON 95. Some of the cars more suitable to use RON 97. It depends on the engines that used in that car. So you have to check based on from the manual which one is much more safe for your money. Okay, so that's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and salam.